6 reasons why your pigs are not growing. Nutrition, low quality feed, environment and then stress. You also have the health issues and water supply also being a component contributing to why your pigs are not growing. And the last one is the genetics you have on your farm. Now let's take it one after the other. First is the nutrition. We all know that pigs, like humans, we need various nutrients at various stages of our lives. So due to the high cost of feed on the market, maybe you are managing a particular feed ingredient, especially with the protein aspect, which we know that if you give it to piglets, it helps them to grow very fast. But because of the high cost of feed on the market, we buy one bag and we try to manage that one bag for maybe 1 month, which is not maybe possible. And with that, the quantity where the pigs are supposed to get, we don't give it to the pigs. You should be able to formulate feed for piglet especially, and then that's the winners and then the creep one for those that have started feeding whilst also being with their mother. And also you should also learn how to formulate feed for the growers and then the finishing stage, as well as even for the boars and then the breeding stock you have on your farm. For instance, piglets or the winners, they need a lot of protein in the initial stages. So if your protein quantity is not enough for them, it is definitely not going to help them. Imagine feeding an adult food to a child. Definitely they're going to harm this child, or the child might eat, get full and be heavy, but might still be looking very small. It is of no wonder that you see a pig very smallish, but if you hang this pig on the scale, it is very heavy. One thing is, most of these buyers, when they come to the market or when they come to your farm, they are not using the scale. So if they see them to be very small like that, they expect to pay less for the same pig. But if you weigh this pig, it might weigh more than what the buyer is paying you for. So usually you should know how to formulate and know that piglet stage, they need a lot of protein. Between 16 to 22% should be protein for them. And the protein here we know is the soya bean meal and then the fish meal, which is very costly on the market. I know that's the reasons why sometimes we go to buy a single bag and we expect to feed it to about 30 pigs for 1 month. So you know how to formulate the feed for the pigs at various stages: creep feed, winner feed, the grower, the finisher feed. So that's one of the reasons why your pigs are not growing. The nutrient you buy or the feed you go to buy, you don't put them in the right amount that they're supposed to get. So you're managing it, and the pigs will also end up managing their growth for you. What you're supposed to get in maybe after 6 months, you're going to wait for 10 months to get the same weight you're supposed to get for the 6 months. And the next reason is the low quality feed. Because I just said the cost of feed ingredients on the market is rising, we used to search for alternative feed sources, and most of these alternatives, they can't be 100% in composition like the original one you're supposed to get. Imagine you feeding only grasses to your pigs all the time. You know these grasses, most of them act as herbs, and you know herbal what they do is their medicines in some sense. Too much of it maybe it's not affecting the growth of it. It's just like you deworming a person. Once a person gets dewormed, he eats better. If he's eating better, that means more food needs to be available and the nutrients will also be available for the person to grow well or live healthy. But you keep deworming by giving grass all the time. The grasses maybe act as medicines and not food. You're always giving medicine to the animal without giving the right nutrient or the feed to the animal. So it will end up also affecting the animal, irrespective whether we treated the animal or not. So the low quality feed is also a component. And with the low quality feed also, I've come to see that most of us, the farmers, when we will go to search for feed, the raw materials, especially with the corn aspect, where I'm located, I know a lot of people who come to buy corn to supply to the animals. When they go to buy the corn, what they buy is the corn that is not all that quality. Like you see the color, you see discoloration in the grains of the corn, and that's what they buy, because with those ones they are always cheap. So you want to pay less for it for the same bag. So you're going to buy it, and you know once this maize or the grains have started turning greenish, definitely that is fungal infection you are getting in the maize like that. And you also go and then mix this one with other feed on the farm, give it to your pigs. So it is always better to get a quality feed. Forget about the quantity, get a quality feed. You process it, put it and mix it with other ingredients you have on your farm and start supplying to your animals. At least it will help save you a lot of cost. If your animals end up eating this low quality feed, they might eat alright, but aside not growing, they might start suffering from a lot of health issues, which is not also good. So it is always good we invest in good quality feed, especially the raw material that we mix with our feed and supply to our animals. It will be very time consuming for you to have a pig on your farm for 10 months still looking like a piglet. So you need to also do the right thing to ensure that you see profit in the shortest time possible. And the next reason is the environment. You go to a pig farm, you see that the place is very dirty, especially those of us who are using the wooden type. We use the wood to guard against the exteriors of it, and the pig maybe on the floor is cemented, and the pig will be inside like that. It can be like 3-4 days or 5 days. This particular farm will not go there to clean the place. The place is also watery. You see standing water everywhere. Anytime you see the pig is looking discolored and disfigured in some way, standing in the mud. Sometimes you see that even the feeding trough itself is being stacked with a lot of leftover feed, and even mud in its sense is scattered on the feeding trough. The farmer will go there and drop kitchen leftovers in the same bowl, give it to the animal. You are not helping the animal to grow. So you need to ensure the place is very clean. It should be dry, a little bit dry, and it should be humid enough. The environment, it should not provide a lot of stress. The space should be enough for your animals. You should know how much space each pig in a particular stage will need to live comfortably, and construct that particular space for the pig. And maybe if you're keeping 10 pigs, you know that if one is taking this space, then we take this amount of space. So you construct it in that sense and give it to your animals. And ensure that, if you're located in a place that is maybe waterlogging, you need to raise the structure high, cement it, so that if it rains, water does not get into it. If the environment is also bushy, and you are not using maybe the blocks, or you didn't guard against the exterior of it very well with an enclosed structure, and maybe you're using how we use the wood. If you're using wood, sometimes this is the first wood, the second will be like this, and there'll be a bit of space in between. The next one, another space, the next. So always, if not even the predators like the snakes and all these animals entering, the wind alone blowing into it like that all the time, you give your pigs respiratory issues. You see, that is where all the time you see them with a runny nose. You see tears around their eyes, mucus all the time. They are not looking healthy. Anytime you see them, there's a kind of substance coming out of your pigs. So these are all reasons why your pigs might not be good. Ensure that if you keep the pig very warm, the environment should be clean and spacious enough, and you should always regularly clean the place. At least, like the cemented floor you use, you clean at least twice a day. It's okay. You clean the morning, evening to go to clean, you give the feed. I know some farms too, your farm attendant can be away from the farm for maybe a week without coming there. You are not also there. Maybe you're a telephone farmer, so you're not even seeing what is happening there. So definitely you're going to struggle to manage your farm effectively. So you should also ensure that the people you work with, let them understand what you need from your farm. They should do this, they should do this for you. At this time, they should be able to do this. So you have to be able to know all this, guide your people, and always get in touch with them periodically. In case you are not the one taking care of the animals yourself and you have people working for you, get in touch with them all the time, and maybe get some third parties to go and supervise from time. They go and check on the animals for you, whether the people are doing well or they're not doing the right thing for you. And again, the next one is also about health issues. The health issues is derived from the fact that most of us, we skip vaccination. You get to meet a farmer who will be proud to say that I never treat my animals, I never use any medicine, but they're always doing good. I always say that prevention is always better and cheaper than the cure. So if you're able to treat your animals or vaccinate them, it is the best thing for you. Here's the big catch. If you continue to treat your animals or vaccinate your animals will never suffer. So once they don't start falling sick and don't suffer, they don't also even die. The farmer, sometimes you begin to think that even there's no importance of what you're doing, because you're not seeing whether you do it or not, you're not dying, you don't see any importance of it. But the moment you stop these activities, the health issues will start set in, and they will start affecting your pig. And before you will be able to reverse the pig to come back to where it was, before to keep moving to the next stage, it will have delayed you for some time, if not months. It will have delayed you. So you have to put in a lot of effort to ensure that the pig recovers to the initial stage before to boost its growth and keep moving forward again. But at which time you have already delayed the process of the pig. Usually don't even get it how you're supposed to get them to grow. So I always say that for giving the irons, deworming, and giving antibiotics, it should be something that you should know when to do it regularly and to keep your animals healthy. Like I have said, I have been raising this pigs for like 4 and about 6 months now, but I must tell you that I've never encountered any loss on my farm, especially after I've weaned my pigs successfully. If I just wean the pigs, none of them dies again. Until now, as I'm talking to you, I still have pigs that I started with on my farm. They are dead as at now I'm talking to you. They're very healthy and even pregnant, still giving me the baby, the piglet I need from them. So it depends on how you go about some management practices. Don't take anything for granted, especially where you are located. If there's a particular disease that is very peculiar or always pigs out there and you have been told by veterinarians, please always make sure that the veterinarians visit your farm regularly to ensure that you are always safe. So the health is always the best thing for you to also do. Check it for it and look out for symptoms. Treat them just as they show up. Treat them faster. Don't wait for it to get to the last stage before you start to correct it. Remember, deworming like this, you might not see the importance of it, but the little feed or nutrients your pigs take from the feed, the worms will also end up taking part of it, which is not helping them to get the entire amount of nutrients they need from the feed. They will not get it at the end of it all. So you need to deworm them and also give them some iron, vitamins, and some antibiotics. When it gets to some point, give them antibiotics to keep them going better for you. The common reason is also about the breed. We have various breeds on the market. Some very fast growth. You see them a 3 months old pig and to be looking like 7 months already. Okay, but it doesn't always mean that fastest growing pigs will always do better on every farm. It depends on the management you also put in place. So if you go to buy one of the fastest growing pig on market and you still don't feed the pigs well, or you don't give them the right management practices on the farm, they will still not do well for you. So if you go in to spend a lot of money getting the most expensive breed because they grow very fast for you, you should also be prepared to invest in the quality feed and also put in the effort you need to put in. If those animals don't like dirt or they don't like to be in an unsanitary environment, you should ensure that your environment is always clean and tidy. So you need to also know them and know why you're going for such breed. And usually most of the breeds that are very adaptable to a harsh environment, these pigs usually do not grow very fast because they are brought to stand the environment. So most of their energy and their effort is put into surviving. So you should also be able to know all this and then go in to get the right breed for your farm also as well. The next and the last one is also the water supply. You know, pigs, their body is made of a lot of water. I can say major part of the body is purely water. That's why some pigs you see them eating while they be eating and drinking at the same time. Some would only drink after they have finished eating. Some too love to drink before they eat. I have all these types of pigs on my farm. There are some of them, if every morning I give them water, they can take like a liter or two before they start the feed. Some too, if you are giving them the water, they will not drink. They have to take the feed first before they come to drink. So the nipple drinkers we install on the walls where the pigs go to drink by themselves, the automatic ones. It's always best if you're able to install this. But if you don't have it, all you can do is be able to supply the water at the right time for them. Like I said, I have some that drink before they eat. So I make sure those pigs get the water first, they drink, and then I supply the feed. And for those that love to drink after they have eaten, I make sure I give them the feed first, and after maybe 30 minutes, when they have finished consuming the feed, I come back and give them the water, and they're also okay. Because if I don't do that, what they do is they pour the water out and then they still be waiting for the feed. But if you give them the feed and send the water, they drink it. So you should be able to be there to know how these pigs are also behaving and what they also like. Observe them, study them very well. Since you are in to produce them, study them very well and you'll be able to care for them. One thing also about water supply is that we use salt in the feed of pigs. And this salt, what it does, it will cause them to drink a lot of water. So if you have put too much salt in the feed of your pigs and the pig has finished eating and there's no water, this salt, due to the electrolyte nature of it, it is able to absorb the little water in your pigs and it's always making them thirsty in the throat like that, and they feel uncomfortable. And when that happens, your pigs are dehydrating. You see them shrinking to the extent that you can even count the ribs on their side, both sides. You can count the ribs. So salt can be a good master and also a bad servant at the same time. You should be able to know that they're all correctable. You can go out and put in the best practices, especially with the feeding. Know when to formulate it and how to formulate about it. So that's why I took my time to also craft some kind of a document to help you feed your pigs. So if you need it, you can just go into the description, download such a book. Note that it is not free. You have to pay for it. Download it and then you go according to the stages you have on your farm. Start feeding it to them. And if you go there, maybe the ingredients, you're not able to get all of them also, you can reach out to me, maybe come back to the channel here, leave a comment. These are what I have on the farm and I want to formulate feed for this group of pigs. Suggest a formula for me and I'll write something out to help you also start feeding your animals to also realize some profit on your farm.